Yes, I'm gonna have.
There you go.
Good evening, everyone. We would like to start our public hearing for the Columbia County School District. We have two items on our public hearing agenda. One, science instructional material plans. Two, board policy 6.216, deferred retirement option program. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address either one of these issues? If not, we're going to close the public hearing at this time, and we will start the regular board meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the Columbia County School District. We will start with the mission statement. Above all else, we are committed to the creation of a safe and understanding environment for all students and staff while providing a world-class education. At this time, we're going to call the principal of Melrose Park Elementary, Ms. Makiba Murphy, to come forward.
Thank you so much. To Superintendent Cooey, Assistant Superintendent, school board members, students, parents, faculty, and staff, community members, and every individual present today, good evening. My name is Makiba Murphy, principal of Melrose Park Elementary, and at this time, I would like to introduce Irony Shade, a fourth grader at Melrose Park, whose favorite subject is math, and her career goal is to be a successful physician.
All right.
So, Irony will now lead us in the pledge. Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silent meditation.
Thank you so much. Please remain standing for our prayer. Dear gracious Father, creator of all, we come before you thanking you for being who you are. We are grateful for another opportunity to glorify you with our lives. We thank you for the privilege to see another day in order to make a difference. We humbly ask that you forgive us of our trespasses against you and others. We ask you to continue to bless and guide our schools, district and school leadership, faculty and staff, students, parents, and guardians, and all of those who have a hand in supporting and shaping our students. We thank you for the honor to sow into our children as we end our first semester and begin another. We pray our students become what you would have them to be, dear God. Continue to be a hedge of protection around us, our schools, and community. All these blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Thank you so much, Irony. I will now turn it over to our music teacher, Mr. Pruitt, and the Melrose Park Legacy Course. They have prepared two selections for us this evening. The first is an exciting song called Here We Go. It teaches that even though sometimes we may see some bad examples, we can still do the right things. The second song is called Gloria. Its words are in Latin, and it means glory to God in the highest. We are super excited to present these selections for your enjoyment as part of the legacy of Melrose Park Elementary. Enjoy.
students are filing out, we'll give parents time who would like to grab their children and leave. Anybody who would like to stay, we would love to have you. If not, we can give you time to get your young person.
Yeah. I.
Our visitors who are present here tonight, we are delighted and thankful that you have decided to remain with us. We're going to start by asking our superintendent, is everything in order?
Yes, ma'am, it's in order.
If we have anyone who would like to make any comments on any of our action items, we have 2 action items to approve our personnel items and approve the science instructional material plan. Do we have anyone who would like to address that? If not, we're going to ask to close and adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to close and adopt the agenda with the items on the addendum.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we close and adopt the agenda. Do we have any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We're going to start with a presentation, recognition of District Sunshine Scholars for 2024 and 2025.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Cooey, parents, students, and other honored guests. As representative of the Department of Instructional Services, I am proud to be here tonight to recognize the 2025 Sunshine State Scholar for the Columbia County School District. The State Sunshine State Scholar Program originally began in 1997 to recognize students, teachers, and schools that have achieved excellence in mathematics and science. Each year, Florida school districts now select their top 11th grade students in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, based on established criteria. And these scholars, along with their parents, are scheduled to convene this spring to receive recognition for their achievements and directly from state education officials. At the event, the scholars will also have opportunities to meet with representatives from Florida's colleges and universities to learn about STEM-related programs of study, scholarships, and internships. Columbia County Sunshine State Scholar was selected among finalists submitted by each high school. The state's minimum requirements for selection are as follows. The student must be a junior with an interest in attending college in Florida. The student has expressed and/or demonstrated interest in STEM-related studies. The student has a weighted grade point average of 3.9 or higher, and the student should also be on track to qualify for the Florida Academic Scholars Award for the Florida Bright Future Scholarship Program. And the student should also have documentation to support a minimum of 25 hours of approved community service to this point. Our chosen Sunshine State Scholar has more than met the minimum criteria, possessing a perfect 4.0 GPA while taking both AP and dual enrollment courses throughout high school. He is currently in the running for valedictorian of his graduating class of 2026, being ranked first in his class at this time. He has also logged more than 240 community service hours, including 200 hours of service at the VA Medical Center alone. Additionally, he is a well-rounded student, along with his role in the academic team where he was twice been part of a state championship group. He is also a member of several extracurricular clubs and organizations, including the tennis team and the Bleacher Creatures. His current plans for college are to study biomedical engineering in hopes of helping to make prosthetics more accessible and affordable. In his teacher's words, he is, quote, a dedicated student who understands the importance of education and works diligently to excel in class, and one who systematically attacks knowledge, yet is lighthearted and fun to be around. According to his AP chemistry and physics teacher, he is, quote, brilliant, driven, and finds not knowing something to be unacceptable. He questions, experiments, or researches until he has the answers he seeks. And we are confident this student will be another wonderful representative of the district and community at this year's State Scholar event. If I could have Superintendent Cooey and Mrs. Smith come forward at this time, please. Without further delay, we would like to recognize Nathan Shung of Columbia High School as the Sunshine State Scholar for the Columbia County School District for 2025. Thank you.
Congratulations, Nathan. We are very proud of you and your accomplishments. This board can't express how humbled we are to have you in our midst and to know that you have worked so hard to be where you are. I know your parents are very proud. Thank you so much. At this time, we have our personnel items. We will entertain a motion to accept our personnel items at this time.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the personnel items on the agenda and the addendum.
Second.
Then moved and properly second that we accept the items that are on the agenda, our personnel items that are on the agenda, as well as the addendum. Do we hear any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The item is carried. Second, we have the science instructional material plan. Do I hear a motion
Madam
to
Chair, I
accept
so
that?
move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the science instructional material plans. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The motion is carried. At this time, we have our consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the items on the consent agenda with the items that are also on the addendum.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we accept the consent agenda as well as the items that are on the addendum. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Do we have any citizen comments at this time? Please give your name and address, and then we have 3 minutes. I'm sure you know the spiel.
Name's Mickey Garrett. My address is 998 South Marion Avenue, 32025. As you can see, I'm a teacher. Lovely shirt. I wish I had 5 of them. I'd wear it every day. It's cool. It says what I do and who I am. But that's not going to happen because I don't have the money. I'm going to tell you a story, then I'm going to give you a problem. I've been in education 42 years, 43, somewhere. I've been in 3 positions. My first position, I had to take a bus driving job to get a third of my salary to make my bills. In my second position in Clewiston, I worked 20 years, and there wasn't a year that I was there that I didn't have 1 to 4 jobs. I coached 5 sports, was the assistant athletic director, and I was the football field boss. Now that was an important job because I was in charge of security and attendees and the money out front, the parking, the other team, and the safety of the athletes on the field. That's stressful. It helped move along my cardio problem, so I had a double bypass. Then I came to Lake City. Came because my wife's family was from here, and that's where we came up to be with. I got a job at a school with a reputation. It's the only job that was posted at the time. Science teacher at Challenge Learning Center. Alternative school for kids that just couldn't make it. That's my calling. I make a difference there. But my biggest job that I'm doing now is taking care of my wife, who's a teacher and got injured while trying to break up a fight and has gone from being able to play with her grandkids to having to struggle just to get up in the morning to go to school. Every day I see her and the struggle she has, she's got skin in the game. Any teacher that steps into a classroom and says, hey, I'm going to try to make a difference in your life and never see the outcome, they got skin in the game. Here's the problem. We're not valued. I know that the county lost money. Boatload of kids not here. Boatload of teachers not here either. There's money. You got to have the courage to use it. It's in the is it restricted?
It's not.
But it's restricted.
No, can't use it.
No, but it's in the
Reserve.
reserve funds. It's there. You've got the minimum. You've got prudent money there. But you've got more. You've used it to take care of problems just recently with positions in budget. Show us some value. Do something. And I'm doing this, and you can throw me out if you want. Superintendent Cooley, you've made some hard decisions in the last couple of weeks. Some heavy weights on your shoulders. But it took courage and insight. You want all the children in this county, especially our most precious, our youngest, to have facilities that are not subpar, but better than par. That are technology accessible, that are welcoming, that are like a home, that make people feel safe, that make teachers feel to be innovative. But you're going to have some crap coming your way. You're going to have some pain because it's going to take work for the next 3 years. Focus that you've never had to put out for this county. You're a good man. You've got foresight. I offer my services and anything that I can do. I'll stand beside you and we'll get it done.
Thank you. Good evening.
Time needs to be set. Thank you. Good
Thank
evening.
you.
My name is Jo Reagan. I live at 149 Northwest Pinellas Court, Lake City, Florida, 32055. I'm here today to encourage you, the board, to do what's right regarding teacher salary increases.
I currently work at Fort White Elementary and have for 34 and a half years. I've chosen to stay on the same campus for 34 and a half years of my 57 years on earth, which I have devoted to the kids of Columbia County. I must tell you how disappointed I was when your representatives came to the bargaining table and offered us a $1.32 per person salary increase beyond what is required for you to give us. Would you find that offensive if you were in my shoes? I sit back and I look at the positions that are constantly created in this building and the large salaries that go along with those new job titles, and I don't understand the reasoning of the board. Aren't the teachers the ones who have the direct impact on our students? Aren't we the ones who should be thought of first when money is available for salary increases? Are you aware that many of us are working multiple jobs to make ends meet? Do you hear us? We need some help here. Are you aware that so many of your teachers have battled it out literally over a spot to get to spend over 100 hours of our personal time to complete a civics course to earn a $3,000 stipend? We need you to understand that your teachers are having to do many extra things to make ends meet. And it's not like we have a job that allows us the opportunity to work only our contractual hours. When we ask for comp time over those contractual hours, we're told we just volunteered our time, that we were not asked to put in those extra hours. The majority of us put skin in the game, and the disappointing offer was insulting to me, I have to be honest. And please don't tell me you appreciate my work, because gratitude does not pay my bills or anyone else's bills. Would you please show me that you appreciate me by offering me a respectable increase to my salary? Thank you for your time.
I'm O.C. Roll. I live at 920 Northwest Savannah Circle. And I'm a first-year middle school, 7th grade science teacher. I'm also a mother with with 3 children and a retired Army sergeant. This new journey has brought such excitement and a new perspective in my life, especially because I have my own 13-year-old that's in 7th grade. So knowing I've been placed in a position to help nourish and grow our future tomorrows, which are also our next presidents, next doctors, nurses, engineers, and chemists. Knowing that alone encourages me each day to go to work. As a science teacher, I never would have imagined I would hit a wall in my early career regarding pay. I transitioned into this position as a sub. And I thrived in that position, and I was placed into my current role. I'm sorry. I feel like my pay is practically the same as it was as a sub, and my responsibilities have been magnified. Science, science, for me, you have to make it fun to the children where you can actually present it to them. And I know me personally, I have spent at least $200 every pay period just for supplies and lab equipment, just to help them, to inform them that science is all around us and to make it fun. And I'm still on a fixed income with 3 children that I'm raising on my own. So it can be challenging, but my desire to help the students will always be my blessing, because I had many administrators, which also Mr. Cooley, he was my middle school teacher. He helped me as a child, along with many others. So I do believe and pray that teachers are granted a higher award to show that they are valued. As a new teacher with new teacher checks, as some say, it has lately been very disheartening, because all of the work that I'm putting in compared to what I'm actually doing and to what we're offered as pay in the annual salary increases for the district, it has made me reconsider other ways that I can make more income. So it's devastating to me to know that there are a lot of my peers who have second jobs because we don't get paid enough. So I stand for
The way we should have an appealing teaching approach, we should have an appealing teacher pay. Because we deserve it, because we teach our future tomorrows.
Hello, my name is Andrea Wicklund, and my address is 331 Southeast Mohawk Way, Lake City, Florida, 32025. I'm a CTA member, and I teach at Fort White High School, where I have been for 13 years. I'm present this evening speaking regarding the salaries of instructional personnel, my fellow teachers within our district. I want to make a comparison regarding the average teacher pay in Putnam County with similar FTE numbers to Columbia's, only 77 more students, yet the average teacher salary there is more than $2,700 of what it is here. To be clear, I am not planning on leaving this district and moving to Palatka. I like it here. I like my district and I love my job. I love my school and my students and my coworkers. I care about my community, which is why I'm speaking here this evening, because raising the salaries for the teachers in our district is what is best for my community. The cost of living since COVID has skyrocketed, and teachers' salaries within our district have in no way caught up to that. Teachers in this district are lauded as being some of the best educators and committed to helping our students. Look at the parking lots of our schools around 4 p.m. There are teachers still present working after their contracted hours. That is unpaid labor. Follow us home. We're calling parents from our personal cell phone lines at 4, 5, and 6, 7 p.m. That is also unpaid labor. Speaking of unpaid labor and quality teaching, had I been paid for the time I worked outside of my contract hours during the 2020-2021 COVID ordeal that was known as Columbia Homeroom, it would have amounted to over an extra $4,900 in my gross pay, unpaid labor. And what did we learn from COVID times? In-person instruction matters. Having a highly qualified teacher in every classroom with student present matters. Retaining experienced teachers who are able to continually readjust, reassess, and be creative during challenging time matters. If you want to recruit and retain quality educators, negotiations towards actual quality salaries need to occur. As the governing board of this district, I hope that you make the choice to pay teachers what we are worth for our time and our commitment. Teaching is a calling, goes the adage, but teaching is also a profession, and professionals who are good at their jobs deserve to get paid professional level salaries. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Michael Reynolds, 1004 South Marion Ave, Lake City, Florida, 32025. I've been a proud teacher in Columbia County for 18 years. Today, I come before you with both pride and frustration. Pride in the work my colleagues and I do every single day to inspire, educate, nurture the children of this community, and frustration at the widening gap between teacher salaries and the administrative pay rankings. Let me be clear. Administrators play a vital role in our school system. But the heart of education, the foundation which the success is built, lies in the classroom. It lies in teachers like myself and my peers who dedicate long hours far beyond the school day to prepare lessons, grade assignments, communicate with parents, and support each child's holistic development. Despite this dedication, Columbia County's teacher salary rankings lag far behind many comparable districts, even as administrative pay remains highly competitive. This sends a disheartening message to our teachers that our hard work, sacrifices, and professional expertise are undervalued. How far behind? According to data from the Florida Department of Education website, in the 2023-2024 school year, the average salary of a Columbia County teacher was 53rd out of 67 counties, or the 21st percentile in Florida. The transportation director is the 25th percentile. Teachers, 21st. Career and technical education directors are in the 39th percentile. Teachers, 21st. Director for business and finance, 41st percentile. Teachers, 21st. Food and service directors, the 48th percentile. Teachers, 21st. ESE Director, 49th percentile. Teachers, 21st. Federal Projects Director, 65th percentile. Teachers, 21st. High school principals, 70th percentile. Teachers, 21st. Middle school principals, 62nd percentile. Elementary principals, 58th percentile. Teachers, 21st. High school assistant principals, 66th percentile. Teachers, 21st. Middle school assistant principals, 63rd percentile. Teachers, 21st. Elementary assistant principals, 86th percentile. Teachers, 21st. While I know the state sets the school board members' salaries, your rank is 41st out of 67 counties, or the 39th percentile. One more time, teachers are 21st. Every administrator position ranks better comparatively with their peers in Florida, but your teachers. If you want to tell me a teacher in Tampa makes more than I do because they have a higher cost of living doing the same job, I understand that. But then I need one of you to explain why a high school principal in Hillsborough County makes $7,000 less than a Columbia County principal. I need one of you to explain why an elementary or high school principal in Columbia County makes $5,000 more than a Alachua or Suwannee County principal and $10,000 more than every other surrounding county. But your teachers only rank higher than Union counties in terms of average pay. We're in a time where teacher retention and recruitment have never been more critical. Talented educators are leaving because they love teaching, but the financial strain and the lack of recognition make staying untenable. What kind of message are we sending to the next generation of teachers?
Good evening. I'm Karen Cribbs. I live at 4702 Southwest County Road 138, Fort White, Florida 32038. Currently, I'm an inclusion teacher that pushes into K-3 reading and math. I worked for the school board as a substitute teacher and paraprofessional. I participated in the Teacher to Para program through FAMU, graduated in 2009. I was then hired as a teacher for the Columbia County School Board and has been here since then. I've worked in the ESE self-contained as well as general education classroom and a teacher in the virtual classroom during COVID. I worked in the after-school program in 2022 and was really looking forward to continuing that. The county took over the after-school program instead of allowing each individual school to run it. With the changes, money was no longer available to pay a teacher $20 an hour, but yet bumped up paras from $10 to $15 an hour, which is over minimum wage, affecting the budget. The reason I'm even saying anything about this is because the students I served were students with disabilities and our bubble kiddos. They enjoyed the teacher-led activities, and it had a positive impact in the classroom and key academics. How many of you have actually followed a teacher for a day? Not just going into a classroom and monitoring for 10 to 15 minutes for a required intervention walkthrough. You would be very surprised at what you see. Some of our teachers are here at least an hour before our contractual time and stay even sometimes until 6 p.m. in the evening. Requirements coming down are just unreasonable. Our job is a mental job and is very exhausting at times. We are disciplinarians, friends, and counselors for many times during the day. One of the biggest rewards that you get as a teacher is when you finally see the little light bulb come on and things begin to click for our kids. I've invested 21 years in our students. Your salary proposal doesn't show your investment in me and other teachers. Paperwork is drowning a teacher and testing is overrated. In my opinion, our county office is top-heavy. The person that was hired to oversee the new building project, wow, now that was big bucks. One should have been in Fort White, or a person overseeing that in the building or listening to people that were on campus, but that's a whole nother story. I've been told to stand down. I've been told to wait 24 hours. Now we as teachers have been told to put more skin in the game by our school board attorney. Well, I put more skin into my job than the bargaining committee and the school board will ever know. I'm currently working 3 jobs. My check seems to be decreasing. And today is my birthday, but instead of spending time with my family, I'm here hoping to get you guys to see that your teachers need a raise. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Good evening. My name is Chloe Bryant, and I reside at 341 Southeast Seclusion Glen, Lake City, Florida, 32025. I am currently a senior here at Columbia High School, And I just want to come up here and speak of a few things that have been on my mind lately for numerous reasons. All people seem to talk about is tomorrow, but we can really be talking about things that can be changed today by the people here in this room. And that can be our drastically underpaid teachers that work at your schools. So one thing, I'd just like to throw out a few examples. I'm very involved in FFA. I'm the former president of FFA and the current secretary. And this is a big interest of mine is agriculture. I have seen the ag advisor there at Columbia High School take money out of her pocket to make sure we can go to events, such as, I don't know, where we go to the Farm Bureau, state convention, so we can be better people for ourselves and our community. And the animals. What if the animals don't have feed? The money doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from STARNs. It comes from money that we have to fundraise. Let's also talk about, I have family who's a teacher. They have spent summers planning, doing stuff, buying stuff for their kids, saying, hey, I think this would be nice for the classroom, because they genuinely care for their students. But who's going to care for them? Not the negotiating team. So another thing is, one of my dreams in life is becoming a nurse. That is my biggest dream. It always has been. But last year when our teacher left because the pay wasn't enough, so she wanted to go become a nurse again, that stunted our education so much because we had to go through subs. We had to get a new teacher. We were lost because we had no teacher because she wasn't getting paid enough. And let's just talk about the dangers of being a teacher. CHS has metal detectors now due to the fact of gun threats, bomb threats, so much more. I know of a teacher who got pushed over walking to the front office, such a small little thing. A student was shoved and fell into her, and she was in an arm sling for weeks. And yet, Columbia County teachers are still on the bottom when we are one of the dangerous cities in Florida. That truly blows my mind. But I just want to thank you all for letting me talk tonight and listening to me as I voice my concerns as a student. Thank you.
Jose Rafael Amaya Firpo, address 17020, 53rd Road, Welborn, Florida. Good evening, Superintendent Cooey, esteemed members of the school board, my beloved co-educators, and everyone who came. Naturally, I'm here before you, like everyone else, to talk about teacher pay. I would like to talk to you in particular about three things. Working in Columbia County, the challenge posed to our educational synthesis by private school, and being forward-driven, not bound by the past. About 3 years ago, my wife and I came here for homecoming because Mr. Amaya, whose face adorns the wall out there, along with 14 other esteemed educators, was so beloved by his students that they would do anything for him, including celebrating him at every opportunity. His legacy speaks for itself, his wife as well, and my wife and I now continue that. It was this school, Fort White, this county, Columbia, that brought us here. We love this decision. Every day, our students remind us of what a great decision we made. However, I understand one of the main pushbacks on education is private school and how we're losing students day over day, month over month, year over year. The biggest way to retain our students is to remind them of the world-class education in our mission statement that they receive from us, day in and day out. When we cannot devote our full energy to showing them, like education originally meant, to draw out like from a well, we cannot enable them to be critical thinkers like we all want and expect of them. It's there. To do this, my encouragement to you all would be not to get bound in the goings on of minutia. It's always easy to find the outlier, the mistake in an educator, etc. But like several of my colleagues said, our body of work speaks for us. This county speaks for us. We want the opportunity to do what we do even more fully And that resides in our ability to be paid in such a way that we can commit our full energies to you all. Superintendent Cooey, I leave with these words. Halfway through our interview, you let me know I had the job because I believe you saw in me the same thing you have, the heart for our students. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephanie Green. I live at 763 Southeast Evergreen Drive, Lake City, Florida, and I'm a senior here at CHS, and I'm Miss Columbia High School 2024. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today on an issue that is both urgent and vital to the future of our society, the need for teachers to receive higher pay. Let me begin by recognizing the huge responsibility that teachers carry every day. Teachers are not only instructors, they are mentors, counselors, and role models. The work they do is nothing short of transformative. But despite the critical importance of their role, teachers remain some of the most underpaid professionals in our society. Columbia County is the 5th lowest paying county in the state of Florida. Our teachers are not even getting paid the minimum starting salary for the state of Florida. Teachers are often compensated far below the value of the work they do. On average, teachers earn more than any other professionals with similar levels of education and experience. This issue is especially troubling when we remember that teaching requires not only years of academic training, but also continuous personal and professional development. But the issue is not just about money, it's about respect. When teachers are underpaid, we send a message that we do not fully value their contributions. Teachers work long hours, often well beyond the school day, preparing lessons, grading papers, and addressing the individual needs of their students. The emotional and mental toll of this work is often overlooked, yet it is real. Teachers face the challenges of managing classrooms, supporting students with diverse learning needs, and navigating a system that is always changing and evolving. Raising teachers' salaries is not only an economic issue, it's a moral one. We must recognize that the quality of education is directly tied to the well-being and motivation of teachers. When teachers are fairly compensated, they are more likely to stay in the profession, reducing turnover rates and providing students with progression and stability. It also ensures that we attract the best people for the job. Often people shy away from the job of teaching solely because of how little it pays. In conclusion, it is time for us to stand up for teachers. It's time to advocate for higher pay, better benefits, and the respect they deserve. Our teachers give so much, and we must ensure that they are given the resources and support they need to continue making a difference. For the sake of our children and the future of our community, let us commit to giving teachers the pay they deserve. Thank you.
Green. I live 498 Southwest Rosemary Drive, 32024. I'm here today to discuss I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even come prepared at all, but teachers are not getting paid enough, and I had a whole entire thing planned of what I was gonna say, but my friends low-key stole it, but we're not gonna talk about it. So I'm just gonna add on to what they have to say. So teachers, firstly, it is a dangerous job being a teacher, okay? I was at CHS, and I was there for the bomb threats. I know how scared I was. Imagine teachers. They go to school every day, and they could be threatened for their lives, and to get paid what? Minimum? That's crazy. No. Secondly, I done forgot everything else that I was going to say, but what? Oh, yeah. These kids are crazy. They will write addresses on, I personally went through this experience. There was a student who wrote a teacher's address on the board. Imagine if that got out. With how crazy these students are, they'll do drive-bys. That is scary. Scary, firstly. Keep going. Sorry, guys. I'm also really nervous. I'm really bad at speeches, by the way. Sorry. Another personal thing that I want to go through personally is school's not fun. Nobody likes school, to be honest, but teachers make it fun, okay? People want to know why students don't want to go to school. Okay, if they don't like their teacher, they're not going to go to school. Me personally, I don't want to go to school. If I like my teacher, it's going to give me a reason to go to school. And teachers are only happy whenever they get paid good. Me personally. I literally work at a daycare, so I am technically kind of a teacher, okay? Students are so disrespectful and they don't understand, like, I guess, I don't even know, but I'm just saying, students are really disrespectful, so that's just saying that, and teachers need to get paid more. Oh, and I take time out of my day to come here, so it gotta be important.
I'm Sally Sluter. My address is 278 Southwest Oakwood Court, zip code 32024. And I came here because of a phrase. Do you have skin in the game? We've been asked, remember our why? And I guess that just got boring or something, because then the new phrase to get our attention perhaps was, do you have skin in the game? Well, let me tell you about some of the times I've had skin in the game. When I go to advocate for a particular student who needed something more than was going to happen to them the following school year, I suggested, and the principal agreed, that my plan was a good one for this student. It gave this student what they needed. It added responsibility. It added duties. It added time to my day. I wasn't getting a bonus, I wasn't getting a stipend, but I put skin in the game because that child needed it. I work with ESE special needs students day in, day out. I physically put skin in the game, dealing with aggressive students, protecting other students from the aggression. I've had bruises, scrapes, bruised ribs, so I put skin in the game. And I'm not here to complain that, and I've never put in a workman's comp claim. It's part of the deal. But if you need to ask, there's the answer. I put skin in the game. And something that has just increasingly gotten more challenging is dealing with parents. They're increasingly disrespectful. They're increasingly demanding in asking us to take care of things that perhaps fits within the parental role. And I am expected to deal with them in a professional way. I don't look at that parent and say, show me the skin you've got in the game. So when you ask, or when it is asked, because those words didn't come from the board, but when we are asked, what's your skin in the game? It's insulting, and we're expected to behave in mutually respectful ways to come to successful and meaningful end to negotiations. I think we need to remember that all teachers out there have their stories about skin in the game. You don't have to ask us about our why. Ask us about our skin in the game and then listen.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Corinne Gurna, and my address is 1265 Southwest County Road 242A, Lake City, Florida 32025. I'm a teacher at Fort Wayne High School. I'm also an alumni, and my children are both Fort Wayne Indians. This is my 11th school year as a teacher, 10 of which have been in Columbia County, and this is my 9th year at Fort Wayne High School. I currently teach 6th through 12th grade across 6 different subjects in all 7 periods. I could stand here and tell you all about the challenges that come with having half a dozen completely different preps and no planning period, but I'm not going to do that because this is not about me. This is about us, the teachers, with all their skin in the game. The teachers who are in fact an integral part of the game itself, and without which there would be no game at all. All of us bear the weight of the teacher shortage in one way or another, and then compound that with the weight of inflation and the cost of living, and it's starting to become pretty unbearable. I choose to teach because I truly love it, and I cannot picture myself doing anything else. I currently have no intentions of leaving, but there are days increasing in frequency where I'm asking myself not why I stay, but can I afford to? If I ever do end up leaving, it would be because I have no other choice, and that would truly be a shame. More of our teachers are making this difficult choice and leaving public education to pursue opportunities that pay more and ask less of them, jobs with healthy boundaries and reasonable expectations, and competitive pay with regular opportunities for raises. See, we know that at the end of the day, we do have options. So why do we stay? And why should anyone choose to come here from elsewhere when our salary is at the bottom quartile of all Florida counties? At some point, our why starts to get overshadowed by all the other whys. The district has money in its coffers to offer us a raise that buffers the increased cost of living, honors our professional qualifications, ensures our loyalty, values our experience, and yet they are hesitant to spend more than what they're legally obligated to, which is less than $2, on us in anticipation of a future emergency. And I understand wanting to be prepared, but I also have to ask you, is this not an emergency? Are our testimonials enough to demonstrate that we are the emergency worth investing in before you lose more teachers to higher paying counties, career paths that offer more work-life balance, and to the very private and charter schools that are currently siphoning off our students? Parents are moving their kids out of our schools, in large part because of the issues that are being caused by the cumulative effects of underpaying your teachers. When teachers ultimately leave, they take with them their experience and their valuable skill sets, and you're left with the inexperienced and the unqualified who don't know any better yet, and who wants to send their kid to school there?
Good evening. My name is Caroline Sawyer. I reside at 202 Northwest Heritage Drive, Lake City, Florida, 32055. How much did your spouse make last year? Or are they able to stay at home or have a job optionally because your income supports the both of you? Ladies and gentlemen, I am a senior at Columbia High School, and I am here today to address the critical issue that is teacher pay. The uncomfortable truth is that Florida teacher salaries are ranked 48th in the nation, with that Columbia County being one of the lowest ranked paying districts. I'd like to remind you that this statistic isn't just a number, it represents thousands of dedicated professionals struggling to make ends meet or not being able to survive without supplementary income, all while changing the minds of future generations, the minds of your own children. It represents talent lost to better paying states or professions. It represents a system that fails to value one of its most critical resources. Think back to your own education. Chances are you can recall a teacher who made a profound impact on your life. Maybe they inspired your career and are the reason I am standing before you today. Maybe they are the reason you instilled a love of learning, or they just simply believed in you. I myself am a student with an individualized education plan. And 4 years ago, if you were to ask me to speak upon my needs, I couldn't tell you anything. I would shut my mouth and become a recluse. That was until my teachers, Mr. Jamie Kirby and Mrs. Lisa Lynn, slowly encouraged me to advise my needs to teachers, to tell teachers, hey, maybe go to them after class when your peers aren't there, when you don't feel the embarrassment of having a need. With those teachers, I gained a voice. I gained confidence. And without those teachers, I can assure you I would not be standing here before you today. The moments of inspiration and guidance are priceless, but we continually undervalue those that provide them. Teachers are not just educators. They are mentors, counselors, and even surrogate parents, working tirelessly, spending hours or money on their own classroom supplies, staying late to help struggling students, and working out of contract hours. When we underpay our teachers, we are not affecting individual livelihoods. We're creating ripple effects that impact every facet of society. Low salaries drive talented educators out of the profession or state, leading them to shortage of high-quality teachers. This in turn harms student achievement, as studies show a direct correlation between teacher pay and student performance. In a society that claims to value education, how can we justify paying those responsible for it so little? How can we expect to attract the best and brightest minds when we give them nothing? We don't give them a comparable wage. In conclusion, increasing teacher pay in Florida is not a matter of fairness. It's a crucial investment in our collective future. It's about valuing those who value our children. It's about creating a society that recognizes the true worth of education. Let us not be remembered as the generation that failed its teachers and by extension its children. Instead, let us be the generation that stood up, recognized the immense value of education. It's time we invested in our teachers. Thank you.
My name is Michelle Maddox, 269 Southwest Platte, Glen, Lake City, Florida. I was not prepared to say anything tonight. I presently teach kindergarten at Fort White Elementary. I, years ago, started my career as a paraprofessional, which back then was a teacher aide, at 5 Points Elementary under Sam Markham. Many of you know Sam Markham. And then I went to work in the office. I decided to leave to go into the field of nursing when my kids were little. 7 years ago, I left nursing to be a teacher. Yes, I left making lots more money than I make now to be a teacher because I wanted to do more with kids, and I went to work with ESC kids and everything. I knew I was taking a cut in pay to go be a teacher. Yes, I knew that. But the other day I had an opportunity. My kindergarten teacher that taught me at the kindergarten center in Lake City, Florida, who is a school board member in Madison County, reached out to me on Facebook. She came and talked to my kindergarten class. She was so excited to come and talk my kindergarten class. She compared to what teacher does today in kindergarten and what she did as a kindergarten teacher. It is not the same. Do you know? She said, do you remember? We just learned our letters. We played in centers. We took naps. What do you do now? Oh, well, we're fixing to start learning to add and subtract. We learn all of the letters. We learn to read. So we never did all that. There's so much expected now of teachers. I still keep my nursing license up. I don't know. One day I might have to go back to nursing. Could be a possibility. I don't want to because I love to teach. My whole thing is, and another thing, just so you all know, the nursing exam is a lot easier than a teaching exam. Just so you know, nurses make more money and their exam is a lot easier than the teacher exam, just so you know that. So that's surprising. I know it surprises all of y'all, but it's a lot harder than the nursing exam. Anyway, I feel like teachers do deserve a lot more money. We do spend a lot of time during the summer. I wasn't prepared to say anything, but I just wanted you to know, yes, I left nursing to come be a teacher. I want to make an impact on kids, and I think everybody here wants to make an impact on kids. And I think everybody here is just trying to tell everybody that we love what we do, and we love kids, and we want kids to stay in the school, and we do not want our ESC kids to leave the district and go elsewhere. And I know the district loses money when ESC leaves the district, but to keep them, we've got to keep our kids, our teachers, mental health. We need their mental health healthy too, and we need to keep them.
Good evening. My name is Dawn Fry. My address is 988 Southwest Arlington Boulevard, Lake City, Florida. I was recently, just in November, named Teacher of the Year for Lake City Middle School. Thank you. This is my 4th year at Lake City Middle. You know how I was in Pennsylvania, life changes, wanted a new look. But let me tell you something. This is my 25th year of teaching. This is not my first rodeo. I've been here a long time, and let me say this. There is not one lesson that I teach, one thing that I buy, that I do for money. Everything I do for these students, and I do for my heart. I do it because I want to do it. And because I am a math teacher with a master's degree, I realize there are so many people who have told me, Miss Fry, you can do a lot more with a master's degree and with a math and teaching math, but I want to teach. I am a teacher. I want to teach, but I think teachers should be compensated for what they do. And I'll be honest with you. I'm old school. Before I came here, I didn't know what the skin in the game meant. But I will tell you this, and I know I speak for all of you. Not only do I have skin in the game, I got heart in the game, I got soul in the game, and I got skin in the game. And all we want is what we earn. Thank you.
Pardon me for a second. This is what teachers do. They make it work. They take what you give them and they make it work. So they have to ad-lib or create or use a glue that the kids don't eat. David Green, 120 Florence. I've been teaching for a while in several capacities. ESE, private, paraprofessional, as well as those students who are compromised and have to go to alternative education programs. I've seen the skin in the game. Sorry. My wife is skinned, and I see herself work herself to the bone. Board members, attendees, and teachers, thank you for the time and attention to this matter. A concerned bystander and collateral party, and a teacher appreciator. Why? An acronym. We honor you. We hustle you, and we're being hustled. I understand that teachers need an increase in raise, and that is being held as in holding or based on the acceptance and approval of a board raise proposal or negotiations by the union. But this should not be accepted. The two should not be congruent to each other. The two should be assisting each other and supporting each other. The Columbia Teachers Association is proposing a TSIA funds of $825 from state mandate money, an additional $357.11 from the state teacher mandated surtax, not the board money. The board should be willing to also provide stimulus for that. We don't want a bifurcation of the funds. We want the district to have a need, to have a desire to show the teachers' needs, to assist their needs, and to show that they understand that they are professional and needed and should be compensated, as well as compensation from the state, not from the state alone. It should be supplemented. The Columbia Teachers Association is proposing that money for both parties to provide funding. What's crazy is there's a 1.5 tax increase to ask from the county. But yet the county's own school board is saying, oh, we need money as far as the county, but the teachers don't need more money. The city, the county is asking for a supplemental tax increase, but you're not thinking that the teachers need an increase. We raise money, but the teachers don't get any. The county needs it, but the teachers don't need it. We. Parlez-vous français? No. Never had a teacher teach me that. But we have teachers here that need to teach and need to keep teaching, but they also need to be paid adequately. I believe the state allocated a $262.3 million budget, an increase of $14 million from the year previous, of which $7 million was from the state funds. I think that needs to be at least allocated and actually provided to the teachers for what they do.
That's it.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Murray. My address is 298 Southwest Dunlop Glen, Lake City, Florida, 32024. I have prayed a lot about this and I was not going to speak, and then I decided here at the last minute. I just want to say I am a proud graduate of the Columbia County public school system. I'm a proud daughter of a mother who was a single mother who retired as a teacher from the public school education system. I think we have a world-class education system here in our county. We have a lot of teachers, as you can tell, who are very passionate and very good at what they do. I'm also a licensed speech-language pathologist. So I could go out elsewhere and probably make more money doing that. However, my choice is to pour into my community and to pour into those children that are in my community. I do PTO at my school because I want to be involved. I don't have any children at my school. I'm just involved in it because I enjoy that. I enjoy being part of our children's lives, of our children's families' lives, and being a part of them. If there is not money in the budget for this year, don't boo me on that. What I would beg of you is to look this year heavily into the budget and say, hey, here's where we can do some things, here's where we can't do some things. Obviously, Mr. Cooey, when you took over, everybody was already in their positions up here. There are a few more new positions, but I don't understand y'all's jobs. I truly do not, and I don't want to. But I just would ask that you really dive deep into the budget and see where money is possibly being spent that we could save money on. That's my beg of you this evening, because I want to continue to work with the children and the people in my community because I care very deeply about them, and I don't plan on moving anywhere. So, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Atari McCarthy. I reside at 550 Southwest Gold Drive, Lake City, Florida. I came here today wanting to address this from a student's perspective. I'm a junior at Fort White High School, and I wanted to share my experiences in Columbia County. I did kindergarten to 5th grade at Columbia City Elementary, and moved into Fort White High School to do 6th through 11th so far. I'm a part of many of the performing arts programs at Fort White. I'm a drum major of one of our bands. And I fell in love with music because of my teachers and my band directors, the late Mr. Amaya and a new face, Mr. Harris. Because of my experiences in this band, I've fallen in love with music and education, but I'm not sure if I would ever be able to pursue that as a career because I don't know how much I would get paid. The only reason I've decided to come up here today and speak on this topic is because of one of my teachers, Mr. Amaya Firpo. He has started this whole new debate program, and completely from the ground, it's amazing. I love it. Many teachers do above and beyond to support us as students through hard times and challenges, like personal or not. Many of the teachers here today, past and present, that I've had, have advocated for me when needed, and I'm here today to advocate for them too. To conclude, I believe teachers deserve more respect and more pay because of how much they do and how much they truly care for us as students.
My name is Terrell Green. The address is 120 Flores Glen, 32055. I'm an English teacher at CHS. I also part-time to teach and to supplement as an art teacher. I clean house part-time. I tutor math, English, and science part-time. We are asking the district to add skin to the game, to what we are all supposed to be working for, which is the betterment of our students through the value of education by increasing teacher salaries. You can show that you value education with a sufficient district investment. Somewhere along the way, the district decided, is my understanding, that since the state has stepped in to show the value of teaching as a profession, that the district would pass its responsibility to the state alone. I do not believe that is what the state or the governor intended. It was intended to help, not replace, the district's responsibility and investment in the district's education. The state is increasing salaries by 2.5%, not the district. The district keeps claiming that these increases are theirs, but the district is only adding 0.00014% to the teacher salaries, $1.82 for the entire year. The investment in education and our students is something that we as teachers give every day in the classroom. The board should reflect the same investment in its teachers beyond that 0.00041% salary increase offered in this year's budget, which totals $1.82 for the entire year. It's not enough. The teachers, as teachers, we come to work oftentimes early and stay oftentimes just as late. This is what the committee failed to acknowledge. It is a necessary component of our work, but it's not something that should be expected or taken advantage of or misunderstood. It speaks instead of the integrity that we have as professionals to the kind of people we are as individuals. We invest in this community and meet through the needs through education, mentoring, and encouragement of our students and our parents. The school board needs to invest in teachers through the district salary increases. Your committee told us that you cannot or do not have money to cut from other areas to increase the salary or to use the tax increase. But as I have sat in the school board meetings and looked at the budget, it shows that you can and will add at least one more position, which is increasing the cost of salaries for non-teaching personnel. You expect and ask us to cover additional classes, to cover positions during planning time. You place on us as teachers both administrative and secretarial duties of state testing and data, creating data sheets on information that the county has already had and could complete with its own administrative personnel. In the school board meeting, you indicated that you have chosen to not use current county personnel for their full measure in managing additional building projects, something that should have been part of their current duties. I have more to say, but I am asking you to please consider the fact that we do have a place in the school board, and we are asking you to protect us and invest in us as we've done as you as taxpayers and teachers.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Christy Bachman, address 151 Southwest Rose Point Place, Lake City, Florida, 32024. I am a teacher in Columbia County and also a resident. Columbia County's teachers are among the lowest paid in the state of Florida, as you now know if you didn't before. For comparison, 8 surrounding counties pay more than Columbia. It's no wonder teachers are leaving left and right when a quick drive down the road can earn them thousands of dollars more a year. My husband has asked me that very question, why I don't do that. There is no excuse for us being ranked in the bottom 5 counties for teacher pay. The same is not true for administrators, who are among the highest paid in Florida. There seems to be plenty of money when new positions are being created at the county office and raises and renovations are being dished out. Meanwhile, you have teachers who work second jobs, third jobs. That is an embarrassment to this county because you are not taking care of one of your most vital assets. When we are negotiating for teacher salary increases and you tell us it would destroy the budget, I have to ask, who's really destroying the budget? Because it's not the teachers. When Ms. Laxton reviewed the end of October budget analysis, it showed that this district had already overspent on nearly every department at the county office, but not teacher salaries. We are asking for an increase that would help you meet the state-required starting pay of $47,500, which you are currently $2,000 short on. When you tell everyone you are offering us a 2.5% increase, it's a lie. You are not offering us anything. That 2.5% is funding from sources that you have to provide us. Your bargaining team claims that we need skin in the game to do our jobs, but you are the one making that impossible. You underpay us, so teachers are worried about making ends meet with other jobs and supporting their families, instead of being able to be fully invested in their jobs as teachers. So maybe you were right, Ms. Logan. Maybe teachers don't have enough skin in the game because this district doesn't pay us enough to make that a reality. The bottom line is this. Research shows that when teachers are well compensated, retention of teachers and students goes up. When teachers are well paid, student dropout rates decrease. When teachers are well paid, student test scores go up. All of the issues facing this district can be solved by paying our teachers more and paying them a competitive wage so that we keep qualified teachers in this county. Thank you.
Good evening, Clarissa Rawson, 1453 Southwest Cypress Lake Road, Lake City, Florida, 32024. I'm truly humbled to even have this opportunity and to be represented with this group of fine individuals. I do want to just thank them for trusting me to come up here and say something. First of all, I'd like to say I appreciate the opportunity that we have as a team to negotiate for salaries. I just want to make sure that everybody's coming to the table willing to negotiate for what is best for our county. Teacher salaries has been a topic that we've had to go over and over. Seems like every year or so every year we have to beg for more money. It shouldn't be that way. We are worth more than we are currently being paid. And we have been asking for years that we are compensated for as what we're worth. Now, the current starting salary is still not met, and it's been years since that's been going on. With regards to negotiation, we just want you to make us a priority. When CTA sends an invitation to negotiate that goes unanswered for 3.5 weeks, that sends a message that we are not a priority. When the district cancels multiple scheduled bargaining meetings, this tells us that our time is not valued. When the district comes to the table with $0 to invest in our salaries, that tells us that we are not a priority and you have placed no value on us. That really hurts me. Really hurts me. You cannot put students first if you're putting teachers last. Make us a priority. Show us that we're a value. Thank you.
My name is Amy Mills, 295 Southwest Longhorn Terrace, Fort White, Florida, 32038. I'm a teacher at Fort White Elementary School. I teach kindergarten currently. I've been teaching for the county. This is going on my 4th year. Before that, I was a substitute teacher. I worked in the PTO. I also volunteered in the classroom daily. I have 8 actually, counting my stepson, who have gone through and going through currently the Columbia County School District. When I decided to go back to school and get my teaching degree, there was no other place I would rather work than those who were invested in my children, and I wanted to also invest in our community. Sorry. While I was going back and getting my degree, which is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I knew it was worth it, it was sort of disheartening to have people coming up to me saying, "Are you sure you want to do this? Do you know what you're getting yourself into? You know how much you're going to get paid? Are you sure you want to do this?" But I had been wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I got my associate's degree right out of high school, and then I started a family and stayed at home. So it was the first opportunity I had. I love being a teacher. I'm not a teacher because of the pay. But as you have heard tonight, we have been talking over an hour from teachers who are invested in not just increasing their pay, but in feeling like they are worth your time and attention and worth that in pay, because we spend so much time not in our contract hours working towards our children in this community. I've witnessed teachers that have taught my children, spend time, spend money. I've spent my own money for my classroom. Never, I don't think, unless I have a doctor's appointment for my children or some reason, have I left at my contracted end time at 2:45 since I started working for the district. Because there is paperwork to do. There are things that we are obligated to do that we do not have time during the school day to do. But I have integrity, and I love my job, and I love my children. I love my students, who I feel like are an extension of my own kids. I worry about them. I pray for them. And as many people have already said tonight, I know that we would like to feel as we are valued as much as we value our children and we value this school district. Sorry. Every day I go to school and I have smiling faces come in at me, but I will tell you that every year I have felt like our teacher morale has gone down. And I feel like that's because we feel like we are not worth it. How do we expect our students to help them have that morale if we ourselves do not have that weight upon our shoulders? Thank you.
I am Trini Johansson. I teach at Fort White High School. I live at 6732 Southwest County Road, Lake City. I'm today coming up, and I'm just saying to the school board, most of you know me. Most of you know that I have a passion for teaching. I've been doing it for many, many years. And I just want to let you know that when I start class, I always talk about mindset. The mindset that you enter into depends on what the outcome's going to be. If you look at bargaining your teachers and what they deserve because of the profession that they've chosen, and you don't have a growth mindset that looks for ways to compensate them for what they do, and the desire and the inspiration that they put out there for their students every single day. And if there's anything that I would like to ask you to do, is leave the fixed mindset that says, we can't, we don't have it, we can't afford it, we can't. Look for growth. Look for a way to tell every one of these teachers that are sitting out there, you deserve it. We hear you say, we appreciate what you do. Every single time we get awards and we do things that are over and above, you appreciate it. Well, now value what it is that we do and look for the growth that you can compensate us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, my name is Tammy Garrett. I live at 998 South Marion Avenue, Lake City, Florida, 32025. I was one of those little girls who put her babies and her stuffed animals and things up and played school every day, even really before I went to school. Loved school, always. I never wanted to be anything other than a teacher for as long as I can remember. I started teaching when I was 21. I just turned 60, so do the math. Can't believe I just said that out loud. I knew when I started teaching that I was not going to be rich. Didn't do it for the money. I do it for the kids. My students will tell you, even after they leave my classroom, they can be grown, married, kids come back to visit, they are still my babies. If you ever step foot in my classroom, you are and will always be one of my babies. I've had students, call me at night, I don't understand the homework, can they go over, I tutor, don't get paid. I have at times gotten paid to tutor, but I generally don't because I do it for the kid. I love what I do. I have been injured. Before I came here, I've worked in 3 school districts. I've worked in Hendry County, Palm Beach County, and then here. Took a $12,000 pay cut when we moved from Palm Beach County to here. I did. Clearly did not do it for the money. However, I have never, in the 3 districts, ever felt as disrespected as I do here, not by kids, not by parents, but by negotiating team, school board. I do not feel valued here. When I taught in Hendry County, when I taught in Palm Beach County, as big as that was, and I taught in the Glades at the south end of Lake Okeechobee, felt valued there. I do not here. I'm closer to the end than the beginning of my career, but I still go. I love this thing every day and go every day because I love what I do and I love my kids. I just want some appreciation, some value. But saying that you appreciate me without putting your money where your mouth is a little bit like me telling a student, I appreciate all that hard work you did, I'm just gonna give you a D. I know you worked hard, I'm just gonna give you a D. It's the same idea. I don't expect to be rich, but I would like to pay my bills. Thank you.
Victoria Seagrass, 820 Southeast Putnam Avenue, Lake City, 32055. I grew up in Lake City. I started at the kindergarten center. I graduated Columbia High School in 2000. I was the youngest person on campus when I was hired for the school system as paraprofessional. I was 19 years old. I worked as paraprofessional. I went to school. Nary Smith hired me to teach at Neblack, and I was there until I had my daughter and I transferred to Melrose. And I've been there ever since, and I'm gonna be going back to Neblack. My kids come with me. They are in Columbia County Schools. My son started at Neblack and moved to Melrose. My daughter's at Melrose, RSGA. My son has gone through RSGA, has gone through LCMS, is now at CHS. We'll be graduating in 3 more years. Started school at 3 in pre-K at Neblack. He just turned 15. I say this because most of you, administrators over here, teachers over here, you've walked through my classroom. I not only have skin in this game, I have the heart. But it's a problem when I can't pay the bills. I know y'all appreciate me, but it's a problem when I can't pay the bills. 20 years of teaching, and I can't pay the bills. I'm a paycheck. If I don't have it, I could lose my house. 20 years, professional contract, professional certification. I do everything. I mentor teachers. I tutor students. I work after school programs. I work summer school. And I have since I was 19. I have skin in the game. My kids are some of those kids where they don't have teachers in their classrooms. You can't find teachers. They don't have teachers in every classroom they have, and have it for the past 3 years. That is a problem, and we need the negotiating team to work with our team. We've got to come up with a solution. We need more transparency. We need something. Something has to give, because there are teachers who cannot pay the bills. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anybody that here that doesn't know me, I'm Dr. Janae Delaney. I live at 4114 Southwest Carpenter Road. And I'm one of the few people, Trini Johansson being the other I know of, I don't need a raise. But you got a room full of people here who do. Where are my people at? Where are my signs at? I'm president of the Columbia Teachers Association. I'm also a tax-paying property owner. And I need some answers. Already this evening, you've heard from teachers who come to school every day, and they give 120%, because now that we've reduced our teaching staff and combined classes, that's what it takes. These teachers have shared with you how they make ends meet by working multiple jobs, skipping bills, and sometimes juggling between hard choices that adversely affect their family. We had teachers that couldn't come tonight because they're working second jobs. I don't think I need to spend any time convincing you that the teachers of Columbia County need, and more importantly, deserve a respectable salary increase. Put those signs up, ladies. The money that has been offered so far is not respectable. To begin with, only what is required by law has been offered, and that means no plans were made to offer our teachers raises from the general fund, and that is not respectful. Additionally, the TSIA dollars were never intended to be the only increase teachers receive. The intent was to supplement money from the county's general fund to get teachers to a respectable starting salary. The goal in 2019 was $47,500. The counties who continue to budget salary increases out of their general funds are already at $47,500. We are 5 years in, and Columbia County's starting salary is $45,275. You've got salary comparisons to confirm the things that Mr. Reynolds and Ms. Bachman shared. This is affecting turnover and the product that is Columbia County School District. We've been told that FTE is down by 291 students, and that has created budget issues. Well, according to the district-provided numbers, we are currently down to 606 teachers on payroll, according to the bargaining numbers. Last year, you paid 631, 639. It doesn't take a mathematician, Ms. Smith, to do the math. You're down at least 25, if not 30 teachers. What's the average class size? 22, 24? Let's round it down to 20. 20 times 30 is 600 FTEs. Don't tell me it's instructional salaries. Mr. Cooey, may I continue, please?
You have 1 minute.
I've been involved with the contract negotiations for over 25 years. This year, for the first time in 3 decades, Columbia Teachers Association was denied the opportunity to meet
with the chief financial officer and do a deep dive in the financial workshop. So we used the October financial report to analyze the budget. The 3-minute constraint of this public comment does not allow me time to share all of these. And I'm going to go ahead and pass these down, Ms. Hill, if you'll grab them. But object code 5100 is instructional salaries. It's 2% below. It's at 23% at the end of your first quarter. It should be at 25%. Take a look at the rest of them. Attendance and social work, 49%. That's 24.5% over. Curriculum development, 34%. That's 9% over. The school board, 33% and a half. That's 8.5% over. General administration, superintendent's office, 33%. That's 8% over. I won't go on because of time. Do we have a budget issue? Yes, we do. Is that budget issue instructional salaries? No, it's not. It's this board's responsibility, not Ms. Laxton's. It's this board's responsibility to make sure that the funds are managed accordingly. You have access to the assigned and the unassigned. I've lost my place in my speech. Bottom line is, you want to compete with Belmont? You've got to have quality teachers that can drive down Branford Highway and get a $10,000 raise. 12? I stand corrected.
Thank you, Don.
Mr. Cooey, you care about people. You've always cared about people. You've cared about students. You've got people out here who need a raise. Please, please, don't get caught up in the minutia and let them be offered $1.82 per teacher per year out of your general fund. Thank you for the latitude, boss. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments and your presentations tonight. Your comments have not fallen on deaf ears. We are listening to you.
Tell her you appreciate her.
As we come to the close, we're going to ask our school board members for their comments. We'll start with Ms. Hill.
I think Ms. Murphy's already left, but I wanted to say thank you to Melrose Park for an excellent presentation by the Legacy. It made me think about my years on the elementary course at Melrose. Thank you, Mr. Lang, for that presentation, and congratulations to Nathan. I know he's already gone, but it's really nice to see our students being successful. Thank you for the crowd tonight, and thank you for your comments. We need to hear from you, and I appreciate your passion. I appreciate your words, and we are listening. As a former teacher, I love teachers, and I love the teaching profession. So it is hard to hear some of what you had to say, but we are listening. And as a board member, there are legal constraints on what I can and cannot say, but again, thank you for being here. Thank you.
Mr. Peeler?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank Melrose for coming out tonight. I hate that Miss Murphy's gone. I've known Miss Murphy since I was a little child. Mr. Lang, thank you. Nathan, I know he's gone, but you know that proves a point of where this district is going. You know, I congratulate him, and to all of you here tonight, I appreciate you all being here. To all of you that spoke, thank you for speaking. I know many of you in this room, and some of those that I don't know me, and you know that we are listening. Like Ms. Hill said, I've talked with many of you outside of this room. I am hearing you all, and we share your thoughts. And you know, like Ms. Hill said, we are constrained on some things we say, but please know that it is not falling on deaf ears with many of us here, especially this board.
Thank you all for being here. I have no further comment.
I hear you, heard you, and I love your passion, and I love the job that you do, and I'll do all I can for you.
Mr.
Just real
Cooley?
quick, yeah, on the 20th, there's going to be a board agenda, I mean, a board meeting, a board workshop that night prior to the board meeting.
23rd?
28th.
The 28th?
Yes, ma'am. The next board. meeting.
Okay. Do you know what time? It'll be 5?
It was on the
5
agenda.
o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Okay.
It's on the addendum, Ms. Smith.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Cooley?
No.
As we come to the close of the meeting, as I said earlier, your comments have not fallen on deaf ears. Let me back up. I do see a few people here from Melrose. Thank you so much for coming, and please share with our children how proud we are of their performance. It is difficult to stand before an audience, but they did a wonderful job with the pledge as well as their presentation. So thank you so much. Mr. Justin, please share with Nathan how proud we are, how proud the entire board of his accomplishment. We look forward to him possibly being our valedictorian. And to each of you who are here tonight, who came and stood before us and gave us your sentiments. We hear you. Some conversations are not easy. Some are difficult, but they are necessary. So thank you for coming. We are, and I honestly can say we appreciate you. I am a teacher and will always be a teacher. That's where I started in the classroom. I eventually became a principal and ended up here at the district, but nevertheless, I know what you're saying when you talk about your commitment to the children. That is serious business, and we realize that you are an asset to us, so we are hearing you. And with that being said, this meeting is adjourned.